This perp back with another video, and I just got out of watching Blink Twice. This is directed by Zoe Kravitz. This is the first time she is stepping in the director's chair. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on that, but this is also starring Channing Tatum and Naomi Ackie. And I want to see Naomi in a lot more movies, specifically horror, because I just feel like she just absolutely killed it. I gotta say it off top, like, man, she plays this character, Frida, our main character, and her friends are working with a tech billionaire, big time tech guy named Slater King. And he has a very shady past that he's coming out of the shadows and saying that, he wants to do better. He's sorry. And I really like how this movie opens and how we're introduced to Frida's character, how she's very quirky. She's somewhat would say like is weird at times. She's very obsessed with Slater in this, and it really shows in the beginning of this movie as they get invited to this like company party, and one thing leads to the next where she doesn't really know how to walk in heels, and this is how her and Slater's character end up crossing paths. But there's something more sinister just on the surface that she's not really seeing until they get invited, her and her friend Jess, to his island, which is also a red flag. There's many red flags. And also, at the beginning of this movie, they give you a trigger warning that there's going to be some SA scenes in this. And man, all I'll say is just, yeah, I'm glad that they put that trigger warning there, because this movie is definitely not going to be for everybody, but there's some really interesting things going on with this movie once we kind of get things rolling and we meet the other women that also go to this island. And you see I forget old girl's name. She was in Hitman. She plays Sarah. She seems kind of envious towards Frida, because Frida really is trying to get this guy Slater's attention, and everybody's out here having a good time. You have all of Slater's people there, all of the people that kind of work within the company from different kind of levels and whatnot. But he is the person that runs everything, and he has set this whole thing up. And what it does in this movie, it makes it feel like they're just out here partying, having a good time. But as it continues, it seems to be very repetitive. And not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying that as like you kind of see the same thing happening, and then something starts to kind of click, like something's going on here. Something's very sus, and there's a bunch of just red flags. They're being fed food, drugs, experimental stuff that's just like, yeah, I don't know about that. And even Frida's friend Jess kind of wasn't really feeling this once they had to kind of give up their phones, and that's automatic, like, yo, nah, you gotta keep some type of connection, being out here on this island by yourselves. There's no hospitals, no nothing out here, you just out here, while also exposing what goes on with a lot of these like billionaire people just with large sums of money when they do with these weird ass parties. Well, they just invite random people. But man, the way that this movie just unfolds, I think Zoe did a great job of just capturing it, stylistically. Like, for her first film, there's some really dope shots, and just she has a unique style that I haven't really seen before. What I could really compare this to is like Get Out, but this is like Get Out for women. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of interesting humor injected into this as well that I feel like really worked when it needed to work. And it got dark when it really needed to get dark. That I would really say that this is a horror movie more than a thriller. I could see a lot of people viewing it like that. Overall, I would say all the actresses did their thing in this movie. It's a really well acted, really well made film overall. Tatum did his thing in this. I want to see him play more villainous roles. Who would have thought that he would have two very interesting roles, one being Gambit and one playing like this villain antagonist type character in this movie? I'm really curious to see what Zoe does next, if she wants to kind of stick in this lane of doing like these thriller / horror movies, or if she wants to go a completely different route. I'll be down. I want to see what she does next. But if you get around to checking this movie out, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.